player Will.
Welcome back, Visions fans. Ready Player Will here. We are back in Limited Guild War, and so today I'm going over two replays of a very cool, kind of fun ice team that I don't normally get to play with in terms of unconventional units, and so I wanted to show off something that you may not get to see every day. I normally do a bit of map analysis before I jump into this, but I will say I haven't done as much testing yet on this map to really speak definitively on what I think are the best rotations, positions, slots, etc. But I can at least speak to how I built my team, the intention I had with it, and why I kind of played it safe with it. So my team is this ice team of Ice Howlet, Zoma, and Grifford. Now, many of you know that I'm a big Grifford fan. Figured this is as good a time as any to try to make him work. Obviously, there's no fire counterplay whatsoever. Zoma's low-key one of my favorite units of the game as well. He always gives me some relatively consistent results. And Ice Howlet there's a good synergy that seemed to be happening. And so I went with it. Now, before we jump into the movement, what I'm going to show for the Guild War replays, I do want to give Grifford some love here. This dude is a goddamn raid boss. That when we look at the stats that I have for him, yes, I have Grifford max reincarnated like a psychopath. He's one of the few, if only, Whisper's the other one, 70 cost units that I've actually decided to reincarnate. And yes, we're talking about almost 16,000 HP, 1,700 attack, 110 agility, not bad either considering that he's not the fastest character innately, and you're looking at 49 unit res and 45 AoE res. And so my concept here, if you look back, I have the Tourmaline ring here on Howlet. That's very intentional. That the way I have this team set up is that turn one, Howlet is going to move to Zoma and give them a teammate buff. Zoma's going to use his own teammate buff and move forward correspondingly, either to the left or the right of this impenetrable, little barrier that's in front of him there. And Grifford's down here in the bottom slot, and he really just kind of walks forward and typically matches up with the character opposite him. There are a couple fights where he does end up kind of going this way if the tanks start up here and take a little while going down, but I'm okay with that. That's the point of Grifford, and that's the way I like to use him, is that he's a character that will just kind of steal hate from you mid-fight. And so while most characters will start to move this way across the map because slot 1, if no other hate is present, is kind of like this pseudo-hate of 1. Well, what ends up happening is Grifford ends up 2 turns later drawing all the hate back, and everyone has to walk back this way to go after him. So it allows for some pretty interesting movement overall in terms of dictating the enemy team. And let's not waste any more time. Let's actually watch the Guild War replays themselves. Now, just for some context, we are facing Salt City, who is a top 10, if not top 5 guild. This is the bracket that we're in, and this is a legitimate earth wall that we're playing against. And so my first hit here, I really honestly wasn't all that sure if I could take on this variation of earth wall, so I played it safe. The team of 3 that I hit was already an opened team of 3. They still had a bunch of cooldowns though, as you'll see. The second fight, I took this same earth team and I took it on fresh, and let's see what ended up happening with results. Obviously, spoiler alert, I won the first fight. Okay, so kicking things off here, their enemy Bradley is in slot 3, Galzak's in the middle, and it's actually a Dialdo who is in slot 1. I'll take a second to pause here. That Galzak and Dialdo are sort of meant to move together, and Galzak's in a spot that he can realistically hit both of them for heals should he need. But you're seeing my Howlet make this jump because that Tourmaline ring going to Zoma here to start off the buff rotation. This is Grifford's regular opening buff. It's a single unit. This is the physical shield for Zoma that also gives the bravery down effect. Love that buff, to be honest. Very underrated. This is that healing power up for Galzak. Not my favorite buff, we'll take it. But Grifford taking an absolute champ amount of damage there from King Bradley. Non-crit hits. Mortal Draw is a way for him to regen health, so he draws back some of that. That's also a... and now you're seeing... Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied here. Galzak goes to heal him up. Honestly, not bad for the amount of pierce damage that they end up taking. Assault Blade, so his healing power down happens, but now you're going to see Grifford use Dual Judgment, which is his hate ability. So now, all of a sudden, everyone's going to kind of focus the other way. Ice Howlet here, lined up pretty decently. There's not a lot of height restrictions for what he wants to do. Goes for the Magi Art, restores some of his own health. Zoma here going to attack again, and I believe, yeah, crack +1. The Bravery bonus down, the 25 AP Siphon is actually kind of nice because Dialdo has less than average. He's down at 0 AP now, so he has to go just basic attack. After hitting a couple of them. That is the Bradley limit break, and Grifford's still holding pretty decent here at half health. It's now Al Howlet's turn, and I believe the hate is now officially off Dialdo. He's lost it, so we are able to shift our attention to Bradley, take him down to courage. Grifford's able to one-hit him here to finish him off. Now it's really just kind of like a battle of attrition where obviously there's not a lot of a lot of offensive capability on the other side, and Dialdo's at 0 AP because of Zoma bringing him down 25 AP every single hit. And then Ice Salad here, kind of an interesting position. I don't know if I love him moving that way, but what can I do? Grifford going in to seal the deal here. At this point now, kind of just healing up. We're going to use a lot of cooldowns and getting our way over to Galzak, which kind of stinks for that second fight, but I have just enough that I'm going to be okay. Ends up reapplying that teammate buff there mid-fight. Griffith's going to use his own primary buff again. And Zoma's going to go in here, at least get a hit off on Galzak, spear it down. He gets that CT up. He's going to move forward. Attempt to Dream Inducer is going to miss. He's not very accurate, obviously. I'm not gearing any evasion. Howlet, unfortunately, forced a buff again, and now I'm able to finally finish the fight. So overall, relatively happy with how that ended up going. You can see all three of my units are essentially full health to start that second fight, so I'm in a pretty decent spot, although I did use a fair amount of cooldowns, but what can you do? I'll have to just take it. But for the second fight, this is a fresh team that I'm going against, and Howlet's at least going to still be able to, I believe, jump over here, if I recall, and use a Calamity Guard, because I have the Cleric sub-job on. Now, in a perfect world, the timing can be a little bit different. I didn't really anticipate for the Calamity Guard to come out here, but still a good ability. I would have liked it to be used on both he and Zoma, but only get Zoma in this. Still, obviously really great opening buff there to give all those status effect nullifications. Takes that hit like a champ, counter cures, so Zoma's back to full health. Removes that haste, all the debuffs there associated with it. Grifford, non-crit hits here from Bradley, taking hits like a champ. Mortal Draw, same thing we saw last time. Regenerates some of that health, so he's still pretty close to full. You see the same rotation here that Bradley's getting healed up. Zoma's gonna come here, could crack +1, minus 25 AP to Dialdo once again. Still pretty good 1v1 going here. Howlet really almost gets him there, goes for that giant slash in peril. You know, some back and forth here with Dialdo, nothing crazy. That's the hate ability again from Griffith, and all of a sudden everyone's gonna be pulled toward him, if they were alive, able to at least finish off Dialdo there. But you can see how I like to try to get that little misdirection with the enemy hate going. And so here comes another Calamity Guard coming up because he can't reach Bradley. Griffith's going to come in here now, and I believe it's Dual Judgment, CT down, gets more of that hate, gets all these status effects, the HP up, as well as the physical shield. Kirkak coming out here, or whatever that ability is. Yeah, CT up, bringing him to courage. Galzak's going to attempt to try to heal him up. Not all that much healing, though, considering just some of the healing power down, I believe, is currently applied. I do lose Ice Salad here. It's too bad, so sad. Griffith's going to come in, at least finish off Bradley. And again, this time it's a matter of attrition. Mid-heal coming in from Zoma for 8,000 healing. Taking a decent hit there from Galzak. And now it's just kind of a back and forth between the two of them. Galzak's going to heal himself back up. What can you do? And then Zoma's going to come in here. Diamond Dust, that's the Esper summon, and he has Shiva currently equipped. And 10,000 damage coming out from Griffith there. So overall, pretty happy with that matchup. Again, just kind of highlighting a couple things here. I do have some Pierce Res on the Shiva Esper here for my Zoma. So, did pretty decently against that Dialdo matchup, all things considered. I am also stacking Spirit Runes here on 2 out of the 3 of them. Zoma, just because I know that Howlet has some self-heal capability, and Zoma has definite heal capability. You saw that with the mid-heal and his own self-heal when he falls below a certain threshold. So for them, I have Spirit Runes applied. Definitely helps in that Dialdo matchup. I have HP Runes applied for Griffith just so he can take as much damage and mitigate as much of it as possible with those impenetrable resists. And yeah, all things considered, for a nice team of these 3, I'm very happy to see the results against what is shaping up to be a competitive Earth element in this limited guild war. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.